Welcome to Muffin News with your host, Muffin.
Welcome back to Muffin News. It is lovely to be back. It's been such a long time. I hope everyone has been well and very safe. But first, our top story. Prince is first overall on the leaderboard? That's right. Prince got 5 kills this game and managed to get over to first? Honestly, I don't know what keldeo is doing, but this is probably the craziest moment of anyone's life to see Prince in the top lane. Other news as well is our kill leaders. Our top 3 kill leaders of the week are Polyrath with 6 total kills, managing to sweep the Mono Electric team. That's right. Polyrath swept the Mono Electric team. Who would have thought? We have Diancie on 4 kills, and then we have a Ditto on 4 kills as well. Those 2 Pokemon belong to the Diancie belongs to Zom, and the Ditto belongs to 4G. I think they have. I still don't know how to pronounce their name. Either way, also in Tide, actually, I will correct myself. In Tide, we also have Zamazenta with 4 kills as well. And then finally, technically in Tide third, but they're 5th place on the thing. Roaring Moon has 3 kills, and Zangoose has 3 kills as well. So very interesting development. I'd love to see where that goes from there. And good lord, can we make sure Prince does not get first again? But for now, I'm going to hand you over to my other Muffin, and we'll get into the pickems for this week. All right, welcome to the pickems. Here we go. We first have Ditto versus W. This is going to be a very interesting battle. Will Ditto get lucky, or will W be able to outshine their luck? Honestly, this is it's a very interesting matchup, because you do have that Ogerpon Heart Flame, and that thing absolutely goes ham 9 times out of 10. I don't think he knows a poison move, so unfortunately, but you know, can't use Go Again and Go. Muck is in threat, because if it has a Sword Dance off, Storm Cantrell will absolutely destroy it. Vaporeon's not there. Has not got for Latias. So realistically, your 2 checks are potentially Gliscor. Even then, doesn't really want to take a hit. Or Sylveon. So it'll be very interesting to see how they play around that Ogerpon. In terms of the other matchups, we do have the Charger. We have the Webs matchup, so we might see double Webs come through. Obviously, one person can get rid of them better than the other. But that is something we might actually see, is double Webs to combat the overall speed of the team. Sizzle's looking nice, Primarina's looking nice, but on the other side, you know, you do have the Masquerada to be very, very, very scared of. With Protean, it can just basically change its typing to anything it'd like, just deliver hit or anything in between. We do have the Muck matchup between Alolan Muck and normal Muck. Maybe we see both of them with Poison Touch to try and get those knockoffs across the board. Obviously, they both have Rapid Spinners, but depending on which Rapid Spin is actually going to be more useful is yet to be seen. So best of luck to both of them. I'm supposed to say who's going to win. Honestly, it's still so early in the week in the league to see, but if Ditto's luck can carry them continually, Ditto will win. Up next is Ager versus Prince. Actually, this battle has already happened because both of them were so impatient. I'm not going to spoil who actually won the battle because I don't remember, but I'm not going to talk about it. Either way, we next are Tweety versus M. So this is going to be a very interesting one. Just because you do have on one side a very powerful, scary team, and then the other side a very powerful and scary team. Honestly, I'm excited to see this match. You know, you do have the Lati that does quite well into a decent amount of things. Especially if they go more of a physical set. I don't think anyone would expect the physical Lati with Earthquake to come through. Speaking of Earthquake does actually look cool. It does quite look nice. Just looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Pokemon that do not want to take an Earthquake. With Covable, not really want to take an Earthquake either, depending on which Pokemon is doing the Earthquaking. Nothing can really switch, and then, you know, you do have the Tornadus, but against the Treads, it's not really a great switch in. I know it gets Heat Wave, but you're still going to have to try and tank an Ice Spinner or 2, so you do have to be very, very, very careful of that. Overall, I think Treads can, if put in the right position, Treads could potentially just sweep the team. So the idea is to just whittle everything else down and just let Treads do the sweeping. So overall, I think this is a Treads win. Up next, we have the Monotype versus Martin. Honestly, Garchomp is sitting right there. I'm looking at the other team. I'm like, ooh, what do you do? I don't have the Terra Captains up for either Pokemon. I'm sure the opponents will check out who's carrying who. And if you don't, well, that's just bad prep on your part. Not my fault. Overall, I actually want to give this to Martin. I think they have the bigger threats in the Garchomp sitting right there, the Zamazenta as well. The Arboliva could sit on a few of those electric types on top of that and get rid of the terrain if electric terrain decides to come. I think the biggest thing about to have to worry about is the iron hands. I think if they can position their iron hands correctly, it will just absolutely demolish a lot of these Pokemon. Especially if it gets, I think iron hands does get bulk up, but even a sword stance, because I know it gets that, could be a very big thing. Especially if Master Protect's wrong and gets slapped with an ice punch, could be all over. Up next, we have Brooks versus Zom. Honestly, Brooks has stated on the record that they just hope they're not getting 6-0'd. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens there, whether if they do or not. Honestly, I'm looking at the matchup, and I won't lie. You gotta be very careful bringing that Sun. That Chi-Yu with in Sun is just sitting there waiting to devour things. Granted, you do have the Flash Fire Heatran, so maybe that is something you decide to bring. But once Chi-Yu goes down in the Sun, you're looking very nice. I mean, Zom does have a way of getting weather with the Sandaconda and Sandspit, so you do have to keep that in mind as well, just in case. But I think the biggest scare for Brooks is using Growth in front of maybe Chi-Yu, or in front of, say, I don't know, even Terapagos, or even the Deoxys Speed and accidentally giving it a boost. That would be probably the worst case scenario. So I think overall, Brooks' Sun team can definitely do it. I think this is a match where Zom's really gonna have to be playing their A game, because if they don't, they will suffer under the immense strength of that Sun. Up next, we have I've definitely spelled that name wrong. It's supposed to be an R, not a T, versus Barry. I very much apologize, Draw, for spelling your name wrong. That is one of the departments that will have to now fire. So Riot department is getting fired. So they made too many mistakes. Anyway, they made some changes. So they now have Ember, they have Electrode, Hisuian, and they have Registeel to the team, which I actually really don't mind. I am a little bit biased. I did help them with the changes, but I think Registeel does give them that backbone of defense that they need. Electrode, Hisuian, nothing outspeeds it, pretty much. So you're stopping things from like Bundle from allowing it to be modest, because it can't be, or else Electrode will just absolute murder it. And then Ember is just a nice physical attacker, just to balance everything out. So it'd be very interesting to see how Barry plays this. You know, once again, there is that trick room of allowing Ursaluna to just run through a team. They could also see some Misty Terrain action. Psychic Terrain to allow Iron Crown just to get off some super duper expanding forces. But I think after their win against Martin, I think they do definitely have the chances to win. It's just gonna be very tough trying to get around all their fast Pokemon. You have a good match between Cinderace and Greninja. You know, Bundle's always a scare, because I'm looking at Bundle, I'm seeing kills 1, 2, 3, 4. Technically can kill the Electrode, definitely can kill the Nemorous, and Frostmoth doesn't really want to take a Hydro Pump. So like, there's a lot of Pokemon that Bundle that does murder. And if you bring the Registeel, you're then having to really hope and try and predict that Ursaluna switch in. But overall, I think Draw has it I think they can do it, but I think Barry does have the overall better matchup. Next is Relin versus Eriko. Basically, terrain versus non-terrain. We have the Ogerpon matchup between the two different masks. You do have the Darkrai, which I actually don't think Darkrai does much, nor does it really come. I don't think you can bring Darkrai here. And the reason I say that is, yes, they have a Spectre, and you are a Dark type, but Spectre only needs one Nasty Plot and a Draining Kiss for Darkrai to be absolutely useless. There is that Sneasler with the Fighting type. There's also that Weezing just kind of sitting there. I know Darkrai does get some moves, but slap an AV or just be heavily defensive in special defense, and it's not doing much. And there's also the Empoleon being part Steel. I don't think Darkrai has a good matchup here, but what I do think it has a good matchup is possibly that the Blastoise. I think if you set up a Blastoise position and do a certain set, it could clean through the rest of this team. But I'm gonna have to give it to Relin. I think they have the better matchup in this case. And that was actually all everything is. I will pass it over to other Muffin to close to have some final words. Thank you, Muffin, for that amazing pickems. I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all definitely have fun, because if you don't have fun, I'm not going to be happy, and if I'm not happy, we have problems. But anyway, that's it from me. Have a lovely rest of your day, everyone, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.